It is more expensive to live in Hong Kong than anywhere in the world, and live in Hong Kong could just cost a life worth of saving. According to the research, Hong Kong has been ranked the least affordable housing market in the world for 9 straight years. The city's median property price climbed to 20.9 times median household income in 2018, up from 19.4 times a year earlier. This resident has lived in Ichong building in Curry Bay for more than 30 years. She is exactly facing the situation that
我做嘢咧係15個鐘一日做嘢，跟住咧人工咧就係15000蚊。我交租每個月係1萬蚊，但係剩550蚊。即係剩5000蚊。係啊。
So, many Hong Kong residents are facing a situation that the gap between their house price and their salaries are too large. That's a hard life for them as they need to save money for their meals, water, and daily supplies. Miss Chen is a 70-year-old old woman living in Ichong building as well, but she still keep an optimistic attitude. She mentioned that
嗰啲呢個其實一定會有嘅，一定會影響嘅。咁如果你有多少少嘅地方，或者個呢度附近嘅配套啊，或者嗰啲公共設施好啲啊，甚至乎嗰啲樓宇之間嘅密度冇咁高咧，咁一定係會舒服啲啦。邊度都係㗎啦。
明白。
So there are hundreds of thousands of residents now squeezed into incredible small apartments nowadays. Most of them are living in spaces that are between 75 and 140 square feet. For some perspective, a typical parking space in US is 120 square feet only. So these are cage homes in Hong Kong, which basically can only fit one person and their belongings. And they basically stack these in a room in order to fit as many people as they can in the room. And yet, the price per square foot for these smaller houses are just keep shooting up. Another most common strategies for small space living is the subdivided house model. This is a big space that has been divided up into a bunch of tiny little spaces. What makes this model work is that they have a bigger common space where they are able to have their cooking and their washing and the bathroom open to everyone so that they can save space and money in their actual living quarters. Government land use data says that 76% of the land in Hong Kong is not yet developed at the end of 2015. Considering some of that is mountainous and rocky and not easy to build on, but certainly not all. So I have posted some questions about the Hong Kong density and the trend to this problem. Let's see what the business teacher in Delia School of Canada, Mr. Faulkner, explained this trend to us. Hello, Mr. Faulkner. Do you think a high housing price primarily the result of land security?
So I think land scarcity isn't the primary cause. I do think it is a minor cause, but I think speculation is probably a much larger cause in terms of housing prices. So I think it's more about the demand side of things rather than the supply side. So you have so much capital coming in from mainland China, a lot of individuals purchasing multiple flats with the expectation prices will go up, and that increased demand I think is the main driver between high housing costs in Hong Kong.
So Hong Kong is considered as rich society. Why do you think there's still many subdivided flats or like cage home nowadays?
So when you measure wealth, when you say Hong Kong is a high income area, that's because you're looking at the average that includes huge outliers, these super ultra wealthy individuals, which skews the data up. If you look at something like median income rather than mean income, I think you'd see a much different number. And when you combine the fact that even individuals earning minimum wage in Hong Kong, they're doing quite well compared to the poor in other countries. However, because of what we just talked about with high housing costs, it means that even on what can be considered globally a decent income, you cannot afford to live or to be able to afford a decent place to live on those wages. So I think it's two issues. The high cost of living, and then the fact that I think that's just the main one. I think the income isn't the problem. I think it's the fact that everything is so expensive.
So expensive.
Like if you were to take the amount of money that somebody's earning in Hong Kong on minimum wage working at McDonald's and transport them to a second tier city in China, they would be actually making way more than what the average income in that city is.
Yeah,
so it's
true.
more the cost level that is the problem rather than the income level.
Okay.
Another part of this explanation has a lot to do with taxes. This place loves low taxes. It is a great place to do business in Hong Kong because Hong Kong taxes are among the lowest in the world, and no value-add tax, no sales tax, and it's free market economy. So, if the government isn't getting revenue from taxes, where do they get?
租金太貴。
係啊，租金太貴，仲有咧住滿咗1年，佢哋要加租咁樣咯。
即係房價飆得太犀利。
係啊，太快㗎。
This can explain why housing prices in Hong Kong are booming up so fastly. The government must take immediate action to tackle the housing problem or get to the root of it. It is hoped that the government will neither pay lip service to our concerns or to appease us with sweetness, but instead it utmost to really improve our worsening living standards.
As we talked about in the first question, if speculation is in fact the issue and it's capital flowing across the border, I'm trying to disincentivize individuals purchasing multiple flats that are sitting unoccupied purely for the idea of selling it in a couple of years when prices rise. You need to try to find a way to disincentivize that, whether it's through a foreign purchasing tax, which is something Canada has actually implemented in Toronto and Vancouver because of individuals in China bringing a lot of money into the area, or through increasing the stamp duty that they currently have in place, or putting a regulation on people flipping flats, buying it, and then selling it within a certain time period. I do think we need to step in on the demand side as opposed to on the supply side in order to try to rectify the situation through disincentivizing people from speculating on real estate.
So, until the government can solve these problems permanently, people in Hong Kong will continue to squeeze into smaller and smaller space.